to come. Uday.
This hour, post the ceremonial guard of honor, Prime Minister Modi has held bilateral talks with the Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Meshal, Al-Ahmad, Al-Sabah. Remember, Prime Minister Modi is on this two-day visit to Kuwait after a special invitation by the Emir himself. Dr. Jayjeet Bhattacharya, President CDEPR, joins us for more on this story. Dr. Bhattacharya, the Prime Minister, of course, has been given a guard of honor welcome, but, in focus, of course, now are the talks with the Emir. How crucial and important are these talks with the Emir, according to you, and what do you believe would have been the focus?
I think there are two dimensions to the relationship that we have with Kuwait. One is obviously the economic side of it. I think it'll be worthwhile to note what are the economic dimensions, as the previous panelists just mentioned, that the total trade between India and Kuwait is $10 billion, out of which roughly $2 billion is what India exports and $8 billion is what India imports. But it's interesting to note that there is another $5 billion that is sent by Indian immigrants from Kuwait back to India. That's the remittances from Kuwait to India. So the total economic relationship is about $15 billion, out of which another interesting thing to note is that we are importing roughly $5 billion of oil and gas, and we are exporting, or rather getting remittances in terms of services of about $5 billion, because one can look at it as part of India's GNP, that $5 billion is getting added. So it's a very interesting relationship, and it's growing steadily. And even though we have diversified to Russia for oil and gas, the imports and the economic relationship with Kuwait is on a continuously improving path. Now, given Kuwait's geographic location, it's obviously becomes a gateway to the entire Middle East, but also it can play a very important part in bringing in peace in the turmoil that we are seeing in Middle East. And therefore, from an Indian perspective, it's important to have that dialogue opened up so that Kuwait also becomes a partnering country which is active in playing a role in bringing in normalcy back to Middle East. And that's something that our Prime Minister is very keen on, because it is impacting the Indian economy. The turmoil in Middle East has increased the cost of goods and products in India, which is also reflected in the weakening of the rupee. So if you are able to get the normalcy back in Middle East, along with and in partnership with Kuwait, that's an important conversation to have. And I believe that's what the Prime Minister will be speaking to you about, in addition to all the dimensions in terms of economics and trade that we just mentioned.
Okay, let me in fact quickly address some more news, in fact, coming in now this hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken to his social media